the Great Britain is not great anymore.
Great Britain is not great.
Great Britain isn't great.
What we actually are is a country with a culture of exceptionalism.
Inflation. Well, they reckon it's dropped. Are you noticing that your bills are kind of becoming more manageable? I don't either.
God, somebody has to have a go at this government. That just cost me £45.
You see this country, they call it Great Britain. It's not great.
The UK is the unhappiest it's ever been as a country.
I am fucking sick of the UK.
The government, a bunch of Eastern educated posh pricks who, if they aren't cheating their expenses, they're cheating on their wives.
The wage stagnation, the shitty job opportunities.
Welcome back to Broken Britain.
Great Britain, not so great anymore. Once a powerhouse, now a cost of living nightmare, a job market disaster, and a healthcare system on life support. Wages aren't keeping up, rent is borderline robbery, and somehow basic survival feels like a luxury. At this point, the only thing great about Britain is how spectacularly it's falling apart. Stick around because we're breaking it all down.
These are the top 5 reasons Great Britain isn't great. Number 1, the weather. Typically in the UK there's 2 seasons, shit and too hot. 8 months of the year is a combination of rain, darkness and intermittent snow, which although we know is coming, we are never fully prepared for. This often brings the country to a halt and somehow manages to make an already shit national train service even worse. Number 2, the government. A bunch of Eastern educated posh pricks who, if they aren't cheating their expenses, they're cheating on their wives. Fools with COVID rules for one and private schools for the other. And every 4 years, a choice of 2 parties, where one feels like a dinner party where Sweetie Todd serves you as human pie, or you can pick the alternative, which feels like a swingers party you must attend with your parents. Number 3, the NHS advertises free, although funded through your paycheck. Due to politicians' preferences to give themselves a pay rise over the nurses and doctors who keep us alive, you've got doctors striking more than pro bowlers with the sides up, available appointments only in the afterlife, and ambulance wait time so long you think NHS stood for not here soon. Number 4, education. Kids at 18 are pushed to go to uni, setting them up with 40 grand of debt in exchange for an unlaminated certificate in puppet design from the University of Bolton. But don't worry, they can use this to enter a job market with stagnating wages, a need to retrain, and the lovely realisation that with every paycheck you're paying it back, your degree was a scam. And number 5, the crime. If it isn't news about youths sword fighting in the street on BMXs, it's another story cementing the idea that job descriptions to be a BBC News presenter include the requirement to be a nonce. Not to mention the should-be crime against young people, where they pay 50% of their wages each month to multi-millionaire landlords who are allowed to purchase entire property portfolios for 60p, a pack of chewing gum and a hip bump back in 1985.
What a mess. What an absolute mess this country is in. Number 1, let me tell you why you should be concerned, okay? Number 1, inflation. Well, they reckon it's dropped. Are you noticing that your bills are kind of becoming more manageable? I don't either. They're going north, aren't they? I think that's cobblers that inflation's dropped. Number 2, unemployment's forecast to increase. Yeah. Well, that's down to Rachel Reeves. I mean, if you're slamming more costs on business, what they're going to do, they're going to claw back and revisit their hiring plans. Number 3, we're now living in a society where, well, you have to be careful what you say on anything, even on things like this, don't you? Otherwise, you might be cancelled. All that sort of cobblers. The list just goes on. But I do believe Britain is a bit broken. The other thing, by the way, look out for strikes. Oh, they're going to spread. Unions are becoming very militant at the moment. Yeah, and Angela Rayner and that new legislation that's coming in to protect workers, that'll just make things even worse. You wait and see. I think there'll be a lot of regret from those people that voted Labour. I tell you what, you think it's bad now? I think there's worse to come.
Just landed back in Broken Britain, back in England, and take a look at my case. There's a damn wheel missing on my case. Thanks a lot, Heathrow Airport. Welcome back to Broken Britain. What is going on here? Look at the trash. It's a total for fish and chips and a coffee. £32.64. Oh my god, look at the state of this. How old is this train even? Why is there just rubbish and trash all over the place? Is this not one of the richest countries and richest cities in the world? Why is there a cardboard box there? Oh my god, look at all this chewing gum on the floor and some more homeless people. What's this even? There's a bike just missing wheels there. What has happened? to my country? What has happened to the UK? Keir Starmer, you've got a lot to answer for. You've got a lot to fix. Can he fix it? Who knows?
I am fucking sick of the UK. The wage stagnation, the shitty job opportunities, the toxic political environment, the fact we've had no summer this year. And when I thought I'd seen it all, this happened. This really takes the biscuit. Budgeons in Tufnell Park. What the fuck are you playing at? Putting Twinkies in with the continental European bakeries. How could you possibly deem it acceptable in a middle class area, in a middle class supermarket, to put this Philistine American shit in with this exquisite confectionery? You've got San Michel, you've got macaron, you've got Madeleine, and then you've got this. 20-lane highway, multi-storey car park, triple heart bypass, diabetes, AR-15, trailer park trash. And you're charging triple the price for it. Granted, I understand that this is probably a cost of the import from America, and also because the only people that are going to be buying it are the numerous seppos working for Bank of America that are positioning themselves in Islington. Because I too would miss the home comforts of bakeries that dissolve into an E-number processed sludge the moment it enters your mouth. Anyway, I was so appalled by this that I went and paid £4 for an olive-infused gluten-free bread roll next to it instead. And on a completely separate note, I just want to say this. If by any chance you are the pretty blonde girl that works in that cafe a couple of doors down that served me an avo and hummus sandwich, you looked into my soul. You made me feel my heart in my mouth. And I was already fragile from being at Maiden Voyage the night before. So if you see this, feel free to drop me a DM.
So obviously I've been in London now a couple of days and I can't lie, I'm already sick of this place. But let me tell you why. First things first, this epidemic of snus, bro, instead of vape, there's now snus. As in for the guys, for the man, they're doing this little thing where they're putting up on their jaw. That's not tolerated over here. Bro, Londoners go to bed on time. There's nothing fun happening past 9 o'clock. Imagine in the whole London, deep it. Everything shuts after 9 o'clock. I'm trying to go get food, shut. I'm trying to go have fun, shut. Go on a club, party, shut. This is why you man are so depressed. There's nothing fun to do here past 9 o'clock. Don't even get me started about the weather, bro. This is the first time I've had to wear a jacket in 11 months. I don't even use the jacket. I bought my other jacket from London from them times and I still ain't even put it on. But I come here, bro, I got a cold. I just need to wear a jacket because it's cold. Jesus. I've even had to take this snap or this whole TikTok thing inside of KFC because there's a phone snatcher epidemic. Why are people able to come and take my phone from my hand? This was not happening when I was here. Bro, they need to put me back in Parliament or something.
This is why I do not want to live in the United Kingdom anymore. I've lived here all my life, I'm 30 years old, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I do not want to live here. Somebody can make an offensive Facebook status or a tweet. Granted, yes, they should be brought to justice. They should be punished for what they do. I agree. They are sentenced to 20 months in the UK. A man can also commit one of the worst crimes to do with children. He will be sentenced to a 6-month suspended sentence where he won't even see the inside of a jail cell. This man is higher up in society. He has money. Some might say he's part of the elite. I can't say too much in this video because I could get into a lot of trouble. But to me, that sounds backwards. Does it sound backwards to you? Maybe I'm wrong. Please let me know. But that is why I do not want to live in the UK anymore.
I am fucking sick of the UK. The wage stagnation, the shitty job opportunities, the toxic political environment, the fact we've had no summer this year. And when I thought I'd seen it all, this happened. This really takes the biscuit. Budgeons in Tufnell Park. What the fuck are you playing at? Putting Twinkies in with the continental European bakeries. How could you possibly deem it acceptable in a middle class area, in a middle class supermarket, to put this Philistine American shit in with this exquisite confectionery? You've got San Michel, you've got macaron, you've got Madeleine, and then you've got this. 20-lane highway, multi-storey car park, triple heart bypass, diabetes, AR-15, trailer park trash. And you're charging triple the price for it. Granted, I understand that this is probably a cost of the import from America, and also because the only people that are going to be buying it are the numerous seppos working for Bank of America that are positioning themselves in Islington. Because I too would miss the home comforts of bakeries that dissolve into an E-number processed sludge the moment it enters your mouth. Anyway, I was so appalled by this that I went and paid £4 for an olive-infused gluten-free bread roll next to it instead. And on a completely separate note, I just want to say this. If by any chance you are the pretty blonde girl that works in that cafe a couple of doors down that served me an avo and hummus sandwich, you looked into my soul. You made me feel my heart in my mouth. And I was already fragile from being at Maiden Voyage the night before. So if you see this, feel free to drop me a DM.
God, somebody has to have a go at this government. That just cost me £45. They're having a bubble, aren't they? Honestly, these ones over here, £5.
And they're miniature.
For a 6-pack of miniature magnums.
See?
How much of that is VAT and tax? Jesus Christ.
We've got some questions, Keir
I thought
Starmer.
Labour was for the people. I even voted for the fool, thinking, oh, what a great guy. He's going to give everybody a tax break and people will finally get what they deserve in life. But no, instead, everything's gone up, yeah? Do you know what as well, right, which I'm fuming about? My road tax on my car has just gone from £200 to £600 a year. How do these people live at like how do they sleep? I don't understand.
Well, they just gave themselves a pay rise.
Oh
all
yeah,
the
that's
MPs.
right. They've just pumped up their income and they've screwed everybody else.
That wasn't 1 minute yet, so let's just click it over.
Yeah, we've got to make money as well, so I can pay the 20%.
The UK is the unhappiest it's ever been as a country, according to a new report. So what's dragging the UK down? Stagnant wages, rising bills and poor public services have crushed public morale. We've got NHS delays, housing struggles and regular strikes are also said to be key contributions to the UK misery. Mental health problems are climbing, especially for people under 30. They're not climbing, they're rocketing. And I'm just going to add to that because there's loads of little general things in the UK what adds to the pure depression. The traffic, the roadworks, the smart motorways, what people have got sitting all the time. Control your speed. If you want to go on a night out now, you need to spend, 100 quid? Plus, spend 15 quid to drive 4 miles to go into town to pay 6 quid for a beer. You've got to pay to get in places. Most of the pubs have closed. You go shopping now, most of the high streets, all them have closed. And all we hear from the government is, this is going up, we're going to cut this, we're going to cut that. Blah, de blah, de blah. The weather. Let's not even go there with the weather. That's just, as an overall, that is depressing. The minute some Brit sees the sun, that's it. Shorts and t-shirt out, soft tops open, in the garden, bit of carrot oil. We're all loving life. And to be honest, the UK is a far better place when the sun is out. Everyone's in the beer garden, going to the parks, doing whatever you want to do. There's always a bit of depression added to it because it costs an absolute fortune to do the most simplistic things. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's a depressing place to live. It really doesn't. Especially when you see people you used to work with on the other side of the globe, on a beach every single day, or they're in America, chilling, loving life. And we're here, sat in traffic, pissing down, raining all the time. Or if you get on a bus and someone smells of shit and you've got to stand next to them, then you want a meal deal, and Tesco's putting the price up. I could go on and on and on and on. You work your nuts off for 2 days off at the end of the week. But yeah, what a great place.
Great Britain is not great. What we actually are is a country with a culture of exceptionalism. By that, what I mean is we have a culture of believing we're more powerful and influential than we actually are. So a lot of people have been commenting on my stuff saying, if Britain's so shit, why do refugees move here? Why do so many migrants want to move here? I'll tell you why. Yes, if you're a refugee escaping war or persecution, obviously Britain is going to be a more desirable place. And that isn't something that we should take for granted as Brits. Britain is still a major economy and we do still have a lot of soft power. But the reason for this is because of our history. And our history is the reason that we have this exceptionalist view of our place in the present day. A lot of British people really overestimate Britain's role in the world. Yes, London and our accents might be romanticised, but we really aren't this loved, desirable nation or the envy of the world. And this exceptionalism is evident across the political spectrum, whether it's the right-wing people that sort of cling on to these notions of empire, being like, yes, we're Britain, we conquered a quarter of the world, or the left who hamper on about the NHS like it's this perfect deified institution that everybody in the world envies, even though it's a fundamentally flawed healthcare system that's in major decline. And that's not the fault of the workers of the NHS who work incredibly hard in an institution that is just a political football for our political elite. Think about it. We call ourselves Great Britain and we're a tiny island. Why are we doing that? Because we think of ourselves as powerful and mighty. It's the reason that Brits have a bad reputation abroad and have a tendency to think that everyone should speak English instead of bothering to learn the local languages. And yeah, this isn't just unique to Britain, it's happened throughout history, whether it was Mussolini's Italy trying to reclaim the glory of the Roman Empire, or whether it's Putin now trying to reclaim the glory of the Soviet Union. But in the case of the UK, as a Brit, you need to be aware of how that legacy influences the way we think about our place in the world. Like I said, be mindful of the privileges that we do have, i.e. we have a decent enough supply of food, our environment doesn't put us at risk of natural disasters, and we're not at war. But more importantly, bear in mind that life should never be a race to the bottom, and the fact that you were born into a privileged and developed nation shouldn't stop you from desiring to have a better life or better the country. And if you live in Britain right now, you've probably noticed that it's a fantastic day outside, so take advantage of the fact that we can drink in public and go and have a tinny in the park. And if this post got you thinking, drop a comment below.
Hey, what's up everybody? So guys, this weekend, the clocks go back 1 hour. I wish I could take it back to 1940, when this country had bollocks. So what I've seen over the last couple of weeks on the news is absolutely shocking. This government is making this country fall apart. Absolutely pathetic left wing. I also cannot believe how many snowflakes what surround us on everyday life. There's so much disrespect in this country. And I blame that on the parenting. I really do. When I was growing up, I had a strict upbringing. But I respected my parents. I respected everybody around me. This day and age, nobody respects anybody. Yet, when you go to Thailand, there's so much respect shown. This country is falling apart. And I, for one, will be absolutely thrilled to pieces when I finally get out of this place. Peace out, everybody.
Morning, everyone. Oh, sorry, afternoon. So, the state of the UK. It's pretty bad. I'm just walking down Seven Sisters Road. Actually, I'm just walking from Holloway Road down Seven Sisters Road near Finsbury Park end. And I've just seen a random thing. Like, I just saw a gentleman just go up to a telephone box, like a telephone exchange. And there must have been some corn or some crumbs or something on there, like, I don't know, a bit of rubbish or unwanted food or whatever. And the man just went up there and just scooped it off and ate it. I tell you, like, Britain is broken. In a big 2024, you've got people doing this. I just carried on walking. I was looking at him and he just looked like he hadn't eaten in days. Another gentleman was sitting outside a store, just staring at him in disbelief. We both looked at each other, we just shook our heads and just moved on. Britain 2024. Mad. Anyway, have a good day.
You see this country, they call it Great Britain. It's not great. I was born here. I'm proud to be born in London, but I'm not proud of Great Britain because it's not great. 95% of people who live in the United Kingdom are just paying their bills and they're struggling. All they do is work paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to pay bills. The UK conquered nearly 40, 50, 60% of the whole world. They went and conquered it all and came back and brought all the riches back here. And this means to me, the UK are masters at controlling, manipulating and cheating people, in my opinion, right? And that's what they've done to the masses. The 95% of us, the system, the banking system, the education system, the tax system is against us. It's like we are the population of the UK, but we're conquered as well. They conquer us as well, right? Do you know, because I'm a landlord, I have bills coming now from 5 years ago of council tax for vacant periods of properties that I had that were vacant, and they're sending bailiffs to get council tax bills that were in vacant period when tenants were not there or tenants didn't register in my properties, and they're chasing 5 years ago and sending bailiffs to houses, some of my houses. This is the state of the country. UK is rich because they're the best at collecting taxes and manipulating, in my opinion. This is not a hate video, this is a truthful video from my heart. The UK is absolutely broken. Over 150 people I've spoken to over the phone. When they say to me, how are you, look at this system, I say, it's broken Britain. And not one person in the UK, Wales, Scotland has said it's not broken. 150 people, they all said, no one has said, what are you talking about, Mr. Patel? It's not broken. I'm doing really well. Straight away they say, we agree with you. It's broken Britain. Really sad situation. End of the day, you have to be very selfish and think of yourself. And you can only beat the system if you're part of the system and you take advantage of their loopholes. Bye. Love you all. Leave it in the comments. Never give up.
This is just out of curiosity, but what keeps people in the UK? Why do you continue and want to live in the UK? I woke up this morning, the weather is just diabolical. The extortionate prices on shopping, the ridiculous things on tax. This is a 4x4, and within a year, like next year, it's going to double. There's no point in me even ringing the doctors to go about this, because by the time I'm able to get in, it would have cleared up by then. Struggle for work. The struggle to maintain work. I don't see why people would want to move to the UK. I always said I'd never leave the UK. I'm booking myself stupid little holidays like every other month, it seems like lately, just to get out of the UK. Tell me why you stay, because I just cannot wait to go.
You will own nothing and you will be happy. That is a prediction made for 2030. Now, have you noticed how all of a sudden everyone's getting these PCP car deals pushed on them? So you lease a car that, you don't own it, and they're trying to sort of stop people owning their own cars. They're trying to encourage you to lease them. Have you noticed how house prices over the last 20 years have got extortionate? More and more people are having to rent, they've got nothing to leave their children, and even the rents are now getting out of control and people have less money. Cost of living is extremely high, food prices have gone crazy. People have less money for holidays and to do pleasurable things, and everyone is depressed. Well, can you blame them? No, I don't. I think the UK is becoming, worse and worse as time goes on. Has your life really been affected by this? Are they trying to change the way we live? Is it all a conspiracy? But do you think there's something in it? Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, because something in this world just ain't right at the moment.
I feel like I haven't been hearing enough chatter about the cost of living crisis in the UK and just how fucking dire it is, so I'm gonna give you guys a grim reality check. My fiance and I are very frugal with our heating. We only keep it on for a few hours every day, maximum like 4 hours a day. Each month, we end up racking up about £300 bills. £300 for 2 to 4 hours of heating usage a day. In the middle of fucking winter. Right now, my house is 13 degrees. It is 13 degrees Celsius in here. And for everyone who uses Fahrenheit, that's about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the thing. I have Raynaud's, so I can't feel my hands or my feet. I've been trying desperately to keep myself warm, but I can't fucking do anything because my hands don't move properly because it's so fucking cold in my house. I'm a freelance artist and I work from home. I can't do my goddamn job if my fingers don't move, if I can't use my fine motor skills. Yesterday, it was 11 degrees in my fucking house. Also, I'm a liar, It's actually 12 degrees in my house. My fucking thermostat is just adjusting because I took it down from upstairs where the rooms are much smaller, so the heat traps more easily. How the fuck am I out here paying 300 goddamn pounds a month for my house to be fucking 12 degrees? What the fuck? We don't even get the opportunity to choose between heat and food, because even when we don't use the fucking heat, except when we're literally dying, we can still barely afford to eat. And the craziest part is that we don't even live in a big city. We live in a fucking small town. Cost of living here is quite low compared to the rest of the UK. Make it make sense. The whole thing about British houses is that they're supposed to be more insulated than American houses, because that's like the whole thing about the reason that British people have to they complain about the heat more, is because the houses are built for the cold, so they insulate in the heat more. Except they fucking don't. And maybe it's just because I don't actually think my house is up to code, because basically we have an add-on. Our kitchen is very clearly an add-on where they knocked down this wall and built the kitchen more recently, and I don't think it was insulated properly. But we have an almost completely open living plan on our ground floor, so we don't really have a fucking choice but to have a completely non-insulated ground floor. I'm just like, I use my hands as an ice pack when I get headaches now. That's how fucking freezing it is. 24 goddamn 7 in this house. Also, just to preemptively stave off a bunch of weird comments, yes, I know I chose to live here. Yes, I know that America is also having problems with cost of living. That's not my point. My point is, I live here. I am engaged to a British citizen. I love them. I live with them. My life is here. I work here. I'm going to advocate about the issues that are affecting people in the UK. I'm not the only one being affected by this. Pretty much everyone in the UK is being affected by this. And I don't really see a lot of people talking about it, so here I am. In particular, I don't see a lot of people actually showing what this cost of living crisis looks like for everyday people. This is what it looks like. Being fucking freezing in your own home 24/7.
Wages are stuck in the past, rent is borderline robbery, food prices are a joke, and the NHS barely holding on. At this point, the only thing great about Britain is how spectacularly it's falling apart. And if things keep going like this, we might as well start calling it just Britain, because the great part is long gone. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's the most ridiculous thing you've seen lately? And hit subscribe, because staying informed might be the only free thing left.